We still have this, again, in effect until 7:30 tonight. So you can see what we're dealing with. It's mainly the northern parts of Newcastle County. We've had a very active last couple of days here. But what is the big difference between what we've been seeing and what we're seeing right now is the fact that we are dealing with the remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie. So that is supercharging a lot of these thunderstorm cells, and it's enough for us to get some rotation. So just to recap, yes, everyone is dealing with lots of rain. We've seen incredible amounts over the past couple of days. But right now, our biggest concern is going to be this tornado warning that is in effect until 7:30. We know that this is, as of 7:10, was moving. Actually, it slowed down. So the latest information from the National Weather Service is potentially a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Pike Creek, moving to the north at 20 miles per hour. So it is a little slower than originally reported by the National Weather Service. So it's moving, which is a good thing. So it gives you a little bit more time to move. But this is what we're seeing here. And we switch from our reflectivity, which shows us rain, into velocity, which shows us the direction here. And it's a little bit harder to see, so maybe it's not as well organized as before. Sometimes when we see the same color, that means the organization and the rotation isn't as strong, and the National Weather Service tends to cancel these tornado warnings a little early. But again, 7:15 is the current time, and we still have about 30 more minutes within this exact tornado warning. We do believe right around the area of Pike Creek, potentially. That's where we did see the most rotation here. So if you live to the north of Pike Creek, we'll start to zoom in once again. I do need to, when I query this, I do have to change this to moving to 20 miles per hour and not 35 anymore, since we did get that updated information. So now let me again show you everything tracking to the north at 20 miles per hour, the next potential cities that could be affected. And even if it's still not an organized tornado, you could still be dealing with wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, enough to damage your home, some of your property. You still want to stay very safe and have your action plan ready to go when we're dealing with storms this dynamic. So again, it is 7:16. This tornado warning is in effect for parts of Newcastle County until 7:30. As we start to call out some of the neighborhoods, we have at 7:18 potentially Churchill, 7:18 Loveville, 7:18 North Star, 7:19 Gateway Farms, 7:20 Brackenville. Potentially you could be dealing with either this tornado if it is on the ground or a very strong storm. 7:21 Haverford and 7:22 Hockessin, 7:22 Holly Knoll. So if any of these particular neighborhoods sound familiar, or if you live within this vicinity of this tornado warning, again, you want to make sure you're taking cover. We do want to switch back over and explain to you exactly some of the tips that you should be following, because there is an active tornado right now.
Absolutely. Jackie. Yes. If you were in this area or near this area, as Brittney was saying, a tornado warning has been issued. If you are home, you're looking at this graphic on the screen, you are always advised to head to the basement of your home. Stay away from any higher levels of your house because of the danger that can come from being too high in your home. It's always safest to get as low as you can to the ground, as low as you can in your home. If you don't have a basement, take shelter in a small inside room in the center of the house. You can see from this graphic here, there are 3 X's there on the screen. You don't want to be there because those are near windows. So the interior spaces are always the most ideal. Go to a closet, go to a bathroom, get in a bathtub, and always stay away from the outside walls, from windows and doors as well. When you are in a tornado warning like this, that central room or basement is crucial, and also cover your head. Also, if you are listening to us or watching us, take your cell phone down to the basement to be safe as possible. Hopefully you have the NBC10 app downloaded. If you don't, it's as simple as going to our website, clicking watch live. You'll be able to hear the status of your area and when this is lifted. Also, Brittney was saying that even if you're not in the area of this red highlighted area of that velocity loop, you can still suffer damage. Damage from straight line winds we know can be just as strong as tornadoes, so be mindful of that.
One thing I do want to show you, we mentioned another tool that we use is called the correlation coefficient. It tends to show us flying debris, and it's looking a lot more organized here, and it helps us indicate potentially exactly where we're dealing with rotation, or at least flying debris. So you can see closer, just to the east, actually, of Pike Creek, closer to the Cedars, you see all those bright colors moving right through Canterbury. There's a pretty good chance that there was at least flying debris and some damage to homes. So right now we know that this is still reflecting closer to Canterbury Hills, getting closer to Hockessin, Ashland. So again, we have just been emphasizing anywhere to the north of Pike Creek, where were originally seeing some of these returns, you want to enact your action plan. So Heather Valley, North Star, Hockessin, these are all the areas that are of concern, and we still have this tornado warning that's still in effect. It's going to stay in effect until 7:30. We are less concerned at this time with areas that are to the south of Pike Creek, although this entire area is under a tornado warning. The most concerning area is going to be at this time anywhere that is closer to this region. So we're talking North Star, Hockessin, Mount Cuba, Heather Valley. We know that this is tracking to the north at 20 miles per hour, and that is why the concern is going to be for those locations in particular. I do want to switch us from velocity mode back to reflectivity so we can make out where the rain is at this time. And the heaviest rain is once again over areas like Hockessin, Churchill, Highland Meadows, Ashland, up towards Auburn Hills, Yorkland. All of these neighborhoods, you are under a tornado warning. We'll include Centerville in this as well. So we cannot emphasize enough. Once we get into a tornado warning, you have to start with your action plan, and that is safety for you and your family. One thing you can do, you can turn up the TV so you can still hear my voice. But let's say you don't have a TV in the basement, or you don't have a basement, you need to head to your bathroom. Anywhere that doesn't have any windows, that is going to be your best bet at this time. So we want to switch it back over again. Let's look at velocity mode and potentially see if there is any more rotation we can make out. And it looks like potentially heading towards the Hockessin area. This is going to be our concern right now, is Canterbury Hills, North Star, Hockessin, just to the north of Pike Creek. I'm going to try to query this one more time so we can see if there's been any changes. Still the tornado warning in effect until 7:30. This is for Newcastle County. At 7:16, the latest information for the National Weather Service is a confirmed tornado was located over Pike Creek, potentially. Oh, it says a confirmed tornado was located over Pike Creek. So this is from the National Weather Service, and it is saying it is moving to the north at 15 miles per hour. So unfortunately, this particular cell sounds like it's moving even slower. So originally, we told you it was moving to the north at 35 miles per hour. It's dropped down to 20. And this latest report straight from the National Weather Service is showing this moving at 15 miles per hour.
So it really has slowed down because it's been over this area, Hockessin and Pike Creek, for quite some time. So that's not good because it's sitting over one area as that wind continues to whip around and hopefully not damaging any homes. But we would, of course, prefer it to get out of that area.
Yes, and if it stays organized long enough, it's possible that we could see this get extended past Newcastle County. So as we start to just call out a few neighborhoods potentially that could be dealing with this very severe storm / confirmed tornado. We're not sure if it's still organized and it's still tracking to the north, but the latest report was that it was moving at 15 miles per hour. So we have our query going. We want to give you a current time, which is 7:23. We have this tornado warning in effect until 7:30 p.m. Areas like Hockessin, you just have a few minutes. If this is tracking to the north at 15 miles per hour, you definitely want to get into your safe space. Same thing for Holly, Knoll, Quaker Hill, Auburn Hills, Lancashire Elementary School, if you live anywhere near there, 732 Fairville, 734 Kennett, 734 Rosedale. So these are the locations that are potentially in the path of this already confirmed tornado, which was confirmed by the National Weather Service over Pike Creek. So Pike Creek, as you know, is down here, but we know that this is tracking to the north at 15 miles per hour. So this is what we are watching for. And even if we back up the loop here and we can kind of show you potentially where this may have tracked, you can see it started to the south of Pike Creek, but it moved right just to the east of Pike Creek, and it's continuing to track to the north. Another way we can potentially see where debris is flying is if we switch. We have another product that we like to use besides velocity, and it's called our correlation coefficient, and that tends to show us the potential of debris. And once you start to back up the loop a little bit and you put it in motion, you can start to make out some really clear returns here. We saw it a little better earlier, but it doesn't look that great. But over Canterbury Hills, you're starting to see these colors lighting up the screen. This is potentially a debris ball, basically, which means there was some rotation and now things are flying in the air, and we tend to pick this up on some of our radar products. So this looks to be pretty well organized right around the time of 7:16, which was the report. And potentially, as you can see, it's tracking to the north, I would say a little bit to the northwest at 15 miles per hour. And it's potentially moving, or at least creating some damage over the Hockessin area. So this is where we're seeing potentially some debris falling, is right over Hockessin, just outside of Mount Cuba, just to the north of Canterbury Hills, closer to North Star. Let's switch over to our radar shot and see if this is still staying well organized.
And we are getting closer and closer to 7:30, Brittney, just about 4 minutes away. But you were saying there is a likelihood that this could be extended because it's moving so slowly?
It's moving so slowly, and if it stays well enough organized, even if it moves past Newcastle County, we could potentially see the National Weather Service extending their tornado warning. So we also have a chat that we are able to look at, and it is also saying on this National Weather Service chat that firefighters are on the air reporting that they're seeing a tornado on the ground near Kirkwood Gardens area. So this is still a breaking situation where we are just trying to determine exactly where this is heading next. But you were right. This tornado warning is in effect until 7:30, and currently it has not expired early, which is not the best sign. So we can through our computers and through our phones, we can query this to see. But the latest report we have officially from the National Weather Service is that at 7:16, a confirmed tornado was located over Pike Creek, moving to the north at 15 miles per hour. At this time, it doesn't seem like there is an update besides that. But again, on the National Weather Service chat, we just got reports on the chat here that it is expiring, the tornado warning for Newcastle County. So it is going to expire. We can see that. Good. We can see that on the chat a lot of times before we get the update to our computers. So once again, just to recap, it looks like the National Weather Service is going to cancel this tornado warning here, which is right over Hockessin at this time. This started for us right around 7 o'clock this afternoon, and we did track this. We do have a confirmed tornado now at this time. It was closer to Pike Creek. We will have more information on this entire system here, but just so you know, this tornado warning is going to expire a little early. It was originally set to stay until 7:30, so we should see that box coming down soon at this point.
And we were telling people what to do if they're in a home, just if they happen to be in a car, even though this is expiring. We know weather can still be very bad in that area. You're advised to never get under an overpass or bridge. You are always safer in a low, flat location, and watch out for flying debris, because so often that flying debris from tornadoes causes many injuries, falling trees and power lines down as well.
Yes, and one thing that we also still have to go over, I know that this tornado warning is going to be expiring soon, is the fact that this is going to be the concern for us even as we head into tomorrow. So that's why we do have a first alert for tomorrow as well. We still have flash flood warnings, which are extremely dangerous. We've seen a lot of rain come down in a short amount of time, especially over Newcastle today. This flash flood warning staying in effect until 10:45 for Newcastle. Same thing on your Thursday. We already have a tornado watch that's just to the county next to us in parts of Maryland here, but we've seen anywhere between 6 to 8 inches of rain, and this is just for today. So again, this tornado warning should be expiring within the next minute or so. We're going to widen out the picture and show you the reason why we're dealing with this tornado threat, which will extend into tomorrow, are the remnants of what was once Tropical Storm Debbie. So there's lots of tornado warnings, and unfortunately, it's possible that we could do this all over again as we head into tomorrow. You want to stay weather aware for the entire region tomorrow. There is still a tornado threat that is going to be ongoing. We will watch the radar for you and let you know exactly what to expect.
Thank you for keeping us updated, Brittney, and we'll be right back.